That was actually a good spot to put it. Alright, hey, Shalom, Akim. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachaha Kodash. Double honors go out to the apostles, elders, great millstone, rule and teach well. Shalom and Barak to you brothers and sisters out there, man. Yahweh desires that this lesson is edifying. Just kind of going to spit through the spirit, you know. Can't pull no scriptures, I'm driving. Which I used to back when I, did screen record. But it doesn't work on this phone. I don't know why, but ain't a big deal, man. Work's still going to go out. So the title of this lesson is Work. Because I was meditating on a couple things. Main one being, we got to really be in the spirit of doing work constantly. Shalom, brother. Yahweh Shemel Shai Barakatah. We got to constantly be in the spirit of, just that, being in the spirit every day. Now, there should never be a day that comes and you're not tapping in at all. Because you got to imagine, because we talk about it all the time, especially in school, Jake procrastinates with tests or homework and things like that. But it ain't like that in this truth, because you procrastinate, before you know it, you're not going to be in the truth no more. Now, the Lord talks about that in Revelations 3. A lukewarm servant, he's going to spew out of his mouth. Which ultimately, lukewarm is temporary, because if something is lukewarm, it's a couple seconds, maybe a minute away from being cold. And that's how it's going to be. You got to consistently, which that was the word of the day for our camp, consistency. You got to consistently be in the spirit and doing the work. Not just making videos, because you got to study yourself too. You can't just do a video and then you're done for the day. You got to tap in, watch videos yourself, read, get into the Hebrew. The apostles constantly, especially a couple years ago, stressed the importance of learning the basics of Hebrew and learning the alphabet. You got to learn the Paleo and the Assyrian script, especially the Assyrian, because the Assyrian script is what's used in the blue letter. But just learning the alphabet alone is going to get you very far in terms of understanding the Hebrew, because it allows you can write your own prayers. You can make your own prayers through just knowing the alphabet. You can look up, when a brother tells you, hey, I look up this word, it's in the Old Testament, you know how to pronounce it. Simple thing, it goes a long way. But imagine if that procrastinating demon was on Noah and he kept pushing off building the ark or finishing the ark. Guess what would have happened? Nobody on the planet Earth would have been saved. It would have been over with. But Noah didn't do that. Every day he was building that ark until he completed it. Every day we got to be in the spirit. We got to be doing this work until we complete it. Which making the lessons and going out to camp is going to be a lot more short-term than, just enduring, and keeping the faith, because we know the famine of the word is going to come before Yahweh Shai, right? But we got to continue putting up these lessons while we can. You don't want to be that brother that's going to look back in the time of Jacob's trouble and say, I wish I did more. Which, of course, we can always do more, but that's important to keep in your mind. Although you want to do more and you want to be perfect, you're never going to achieve perfection. Because if we could achieve perfection on this side, let's say if you're in the truth, if you make it to 40 years in this truth and you do 2 videos every day, you'll be perfect. Then we wouldn't need Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is who's going to deliver us, and we're going to receive those new bodies when the new covenant is actually put in place. Because right now it's not. All right, so that's what we're waiting for. So we got to continue to do this work. Because there's never a point where you've done enough. All right, that's guaranteed. But you want to make sure you're giving your due diligence, like it says, to make your calling and election sure. Because if you don't, somebody else will. Understand that. You're not somebody important to where the Lord needs you here. The Lord don't need you, man. The Lord don't need me. The Lord needs somebody that's going to work. Even in modern day society, you get a job, you start slacking, you're going to get laid off. And somebody else is going to pass a drug test and go into training. And they're going to take your spot. And that's the same thing with this truth. We see guys come and go all the time. Especially guys of position. You've seen some elders. You got one now, and he's bugging. So don't think that the Lord needs you, man. You got to be humble in this thing. That's one of the biggest things in this truth is humility. You got Luke 7. So I didn't figure that yet. You got Luke 17:10. It says, Yahweh Shai, it's in red. It says, you've done that which is your duty to do. Say you're an unprofitable servant. So this is the bit which we were talking about that yesterday in a lesson. You know, basically how the things that we're doing. Okay, that's just going to be like that, I guess. Well, the things that we're doing is basic. You know, you got guys out there, they make videos, they pray, they fast, and they're looking for a pat on the back. You're not going to get no pat on the back. You know, you're not going to receive no trophy. Oh, this brother did the most videos in a week. It's not about that. Give your due diligence, you know. But it's even like with breathing. You take breaths, you breathe every day to stay alive. You're not going to get a trophy for breathing. So why should you get a trophy for doing your basic deeds? Ecclesiastes 12:13 tells us that this is the whole duty of man, what we're doing right now. So what we're in the world, and that shows how low this world is, because the world marvels at that. These men are. What do you mean he didn't eat or drink for a whole 24 hours? What do you mean he's going out and teaching, the Bible in 20-degree weather? What do you mean he's, watching, he's studying like he's in college, but he's not? What do you mean he's doing these things? The world marvels at that, but everything that we do is the basic thing that every Israelite man on the planet Earth should be doing. That shows how fucking low this planet is, man. That shows how low our nation is. That's the true definition of a degenerate, because a degenerate is somebody that has basically fallen away from the qualities of their ancestors. It's hard nowadays to come across somebody that's 18 to 25, that's a Jake, that has humility, that has discipline, that's honest. A lot of the people now in this new, Gen Z, they're pieces of shit. It's hard to come across people that actually have value in this society. But through Yahweh Shemel Shai, him giving us his Holy Spirit, we're on a whole new level. We're bringing the definition of alpha male actually to the table. We're not just saying it on an Instagram post. We're actually real men. Hard times create, Hard times create real good men or something like that, or tough men. We're the one, the Lord one, we're of the elect. We're the ones that are actually making a difference. Because that was another thing too, that brother's been talking about recently, that we've been meditating on here in Nashville. These conspiracy theorists, they have entry-level knowledge, which the information that they have is good. But here's the thing, they have no solutions. They talk about, the elites, and they talk about how, they're pulling the strings with world wars and different, economic problems and all, but they have no solution. They have nothing. They don't bring anything to the table. They just think, okay, I got an AR and 2 Glocks in my basement, and I got a year's supply of canned food, so I'm good. No, it's not. That's not going to keep you. It's not going to keep you in those days. All right. It tells us in Isaiah 33:6 that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. That's another reason why it's important to pray and fast now, to be around brothers now, seek counsel now, grow now. You're not going to be able to tap into a brother's lesson in Jacob's trouble. You're not going to be able to, all right, brother, I'm going to do a fast. There ain't going to be no, if you fast in those days, it's going to be involuntary. It's because you ain't got no choice. So you really got to prep yourself now, man. And we got to constantly make sure that we're not getting in the spirit of slothfulness, which goes into the title, work. Do the work every day. Be constantly seeking productivity in the spirit. You can't be stagnant, man. Brothers talk about that too, because John 7:38, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. You got to constantly be pushing out this work, and as well as drinking that water. It goes both ways, because you take in information, videos, you read, you go through different experiences in your walk, and you make lessons on it. You teach other brothers about it. It's a continual cycle. A continued recycling of spiritual knowledge that goes around in the body of Yahweh Shai. But you got to constantly be productive, man, because you're definitely going to have times where you lack. You're definitely going to have times where you're low in the spirit. But that's when you gotta get out of that. You can't, because that's the thing, man. We're not going to avoid having low moments in the spirit. We're not. That's impossible. Okay, being in this flesh, which is literally known as chains of darkness, 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter. All right, I think it's like the 3rd or 4th verse. This flesh is known as chains of darkness, so you're not going to escape low moments in the spirit. You're not. But you want, basically what you want to do is you want to minimize the amount of time that you spend being low. You know, when demons come upon you, or you just find yourself lacking, you know, your motivation is just kind of vanished out of thin air, you got to be able to pick yourself up quicker. Instead of having a low moment last a couple days, it should last a couple hours, man. We got to learn how to pick ourselves up quick. When we make mistakes, every L you take in the society and in your daily life, you should use towards making yourself better. There's always, just like how we can pick spiritual things out of movies, TV shows, music, you know, regardless of how, you know, big it is of so-called niggatry in a song or in a movie or whatever. It might be some random movie, some Tom Cruise movie, but you can pick out spiritual messages and things from that movie. That's the same thing we got to do in our daily walk. When we make mistakes, when we go off, you know, when we say the wrong thing, that's the only way you're going to get better. You got to yourself, which that's part of doing the work as well. You can't go out in the highways and byways every Saturday or Friday, Sunday, whenever, you know, your camp goes out, but you're never examining yourself. You have some nerve to go out and teach and make videos, but then you're not examining yourself. You got to be on point. Because I've noticed that too sometimes, you know, and I'm going to be honest, because we're all men. There's times where I'll make a video on patience or a video on this, a video on that, and then I realize, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I'm not even doing that. You know, I got to turn up. So we got to constantly examine. Sometimes the Lord have it like that. You do a video and you might be thinking about somebody else. It's like a, you know, a rebuke video, not directly rebuke, you know, but sometimes the Spirit be on you to talk about certain things that's going on. Not specifically, but you know what I'm saying. For the brothers that, you know, make videos, especially in the camps. But you'll realize sometimes the Lord had you make a lesson on yourself, talking about having faith, but then the Lord puts the Spirit on you to meditate, and you're thinking about 2 days ago when you had that flat tire and you were doubting. You know, so you got to examine yourself every day. That's how it works. This is one big ass lesson, man, this walk. All right, this life that we're living in since we came in the truth. All right, so that was basically all I had to say to get off my chest. I'm actually at my destination. So, Lord willing that this lesson was edifying, exhorting, you know, to the brothers and as well the sisters out there. But first and foremost, the brothers, you know. But all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, double honors, you know, to the apostles and elders. Shalom.